Well, hello everybody. This is Reagan, your RV traveler's voice, and coming to you from Hernando Point, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers campground, just outside of Hernando, Mississippi, a little south of Memphis. And as you can see here, we're not quite at our campground. We arrived a little bit early here, and there in the background, you'll see our site number 50 out here on the point is still occupied. The current occupants are hooking up and getting ready to go, so we'll be in our campground shortly. But just wanted to say hello and say we'll be giving you a little tour around the campground, our little activities throughout our stay here, and enjoy the video. Hopefully it'll help you out as you're looking to maybe try out Hernando Point Campground here in Hernando, Mississippi. Be sure and subscribe to stay up to date on our adventures, as well as don't hesitate to comment, like us, as well as give us any questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Stay tuned to RV Traveler's Voice. Well, we're here standing at the entrance to Hernando Point, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers campground. Doesn't look like much when you drive up here. You're basically, I'll slowly pan around. You're basically here driving through a little small gathering of houses, and then you are down a road surrounded by soybean fields. But as you get into the park, we'll slowly pan back around, you'll find a number of amenities, boat ramp, and then full hookup sites. So that's a little bit of an anomaly for most COEs. This one does have full hookup sites. Sites 1 through 83, and a nice, relatively flat campground here on the shores of Lake Arkabutla in northern Mississippi, about 30 minutes south of Memphis. So let's take a roll around to sites 1 through 83 and give you a look. And right here at the entrance, you'll find the boat ramp and restroom facilities. There used to be a very large beach with lots of campground areas near the beach. However, a tornado a few years ago swept through here, and the beach has been permanently closed since then. It's a restricted area. And then you'll find the main campground further on down this road. Now there is a dump station here. It doesn't get much use, as I mentioned. All of the sites do have full hookups, but one is still available if you need it. And we're coming up here on the first site, site number 1. Nice level back in site right here on the lake. And site number 2, tightly packed in by site 1. And site number 3. So 1, 2, 3 right here in a row. Site number 4 on the inside of the loop. Come up on another couple of sites here together. Sites 5 and site 6. Closely spaced. Wonderful views of the lake. 7, really nice site, probably one of the favorite sites. Well spaced from the people behind you, no one really in front of you, and you walk straight down to the beach. Site number 8, also waterfront site, no real close by neighbors. It does have a little slope down. Site number 9, as we come around, moving away from the lake, does have a significant drop off from your front door. And site number 10, also a fairly level site, but you are at a bit of elevation. Nice little grade down to your picnic table. And here are the ranger station and the restrooms. First are the bathhouses. There are 3 restroom facilities and showers. There is no ranger station, or no manned or staffed ranger station. Basically, you just make the reservations online. There are about 3 camp hosts here this week that we're here. And we're coming up on site number 11 here on the corner next little loop. You do basically look on the driver's side back out on the road, but your campsite does have a nice view of the lake out in front of you. Your picnic table is kind of behind your campsite. Site number 12 here is on the inside of the loop. Site 13 on the outside of the loop here. And site 14 with this little Coleman trailer parked here. And site 15, a little bit of elevation to your picnic table. And site 16 has a nice concrete pad there for you, as well as a paved drive. Pretty well spaced here. Site number 16. Across the way is 17, coming back up to the lake. And 18 here on the point. Lots of shade trees. Nice views of the lake as well, overlooking the lake. It's not really a lake access site. And 20 across the way from it. Lots of shade. Site number 21 here. A little close to site 20. But lots of shade. And site number 22 here. Well spaced, no one on either side of you. Coming up on these next sites, pan down the road here, you can see this is where the tornado came through. It basically wiped out all the trees, but you do have some nice views of the lake, some benches for sitting out, watching the sunsets, watching all the pelicans out on the lake as we come up on this next site. So this one is a pull-through, a few pull-throughs here. Site number 23. Beautiful views of the lake, totally unobstructed views. There is no shade, but if that's your thing, then site 23 is for you. There's no one on either side of you. Site 24, another wide open site here, just across the road from the lake. Yeah, we'll make our way on to the next loop here. Site number 25 here. Out here in the open, lots of shade here in the morning. Site number 26 here on a point. No real close neighbors. Excellent views of the lake. 27 here on the inside. And 28 here on the outside as well. No close by neighbors. Great sunrise and sunset views from this side, although you are a little bit close on the passenger side of the next site, which is site number 29. Also great views of the lake. Nicely angled so you're not looking directly into your next door neighbor. This is site 30 on the inside and site 31 here on the outside of the loop. Lakefront, lake view site. A little shorter site, but wide open out in front of you. Site 32 here on the inside of the loop. Site 33, nice site, lots of shade, no nearby neighbors. Site number 34 on the inside of the loop. No trees around it, but you get some shade in the morning. 35, really nice site. Well spaced from anybody nearby, lots of shade, a little bit of water view. 36, shady in the morning as well on the inside of the loop. 37 does have quite a bit of a drop off out in front of your campsite, and you have to walk up here to your picnic table. It's kind of out on the road. 38 is a nice site tucked in here amongst these large trees. Nice concrete pad as well. Very good shady side here on the outside. Number 39 on the outside of the loop. Not a bad site. Site 40, also here on the inside. Nice shady site. And site 41. Another good back end site, nice and shady and secluded. 42 on the inside here. One large tree provides plenty of shade, as you can see. 43, put this big fifth wheel in here on the outside of the loop. And site 44 wraps up this loop kind of here on the corner as you move your way into the next loop. Right across from 44 is the next set of restrooms and bathhouses. And we make our way down to the loop that is all the way to the end of the point. Come up on site 45 here. Although it is an RV site, we got a tent camper here on the inside, kind of out in the open. No real shade trees over it other than in the morning for site number 45. Now you see 46 and 48 kind of close together here on the outside of the loop. The tornado took its toll here on the trees around 46. Site number 47 on the inside. Nice shaded site. 48 on the outside. It's pretty well sloped on the downhill side out here in the open. 49 on the inside, plenty of shade, nice level back in sight. And no one across from you. We'll pan around to that. You'll see there's a little overflow parking, but there's no other sites out in front here. And we'll make our way out to the far end of the point on this little peninsula. Come to site number 50. This is our site. It's probably our favorite site too. We really lucked out on this one. There's no neighbors anywhere near us. We have good 180-degree views of the lake back behind us on both sides of us. We are out here on the peninsula. And it is a very shady site. All times of the day, and easy access to the water for fishing and kayaking, docking or kayaking. And here's the water access from our site 50. There's just a little trail, although a little bit steep, but it is walkable. You make your way down to the water's edge here. We are on the inlet side, a little inlet from the lake. Easy to launch kayaks and canoes from here, as well as catch a few fish. And across the way on the inside of this loop here on the point is site 51. Nice, long, shady, level campsite as well. And unobstructed view of the lake over there. And on the outside of the loop, site number 52. Nice concrete pad for the picnic table area just outside of the campsite. And there's also a nice little trail down to the water from this site 52. Site 53 on the inside here. It's very shady, long, fairly level. It does slope down a little bit. Overall, a really nice site here on the inside of this loop. Site number 54 is on the outside of the loop here. Well spaced from its next nearest sites. Also a concrete pad for the picnic table. We're coming up on site 55 on the inside of the loop. It is a large site. Picnic table way over here. And there's your camper pad and the fire ring as well. Lots of grassy area around you. You are out in the full sun in the afternoon. Site number 56 is all by itself here on the outside of the loop. Long site. You'll be in the shade later in the afternoon, but mornings up through early afternoon you are in full sun here. And we'll swing all the way around on the other side of campsite 56. It does face out into the woods, and as you can see, this camper is all by itself here. You don't have any nearby neighbors, but no water view or access here. And as we make our way up out of the loop there on the point, past the bathhouse, we come to site number 57 on the inside, and 58 here on the outside. 59, well shaded in the afternoon. Site number 60 here on the outside. Site number 61 here on the inside. This little grouping here, all the way up through 61 and through 62, are fairly tight in here, but 62 is kind of all by itself. And site 63 here is on the outside. Site 64 here on the inside. And site 65 here, fairly long site, big rig on it. Not too tightly spaced to its nearest neighbors. 66 here on the outside. 67 here on the inside. 68 all by itself. It does back up to this little amphitheater there you see in the background. 69 is across from the amphitheater. Some good shade in the afternoon here. Site number 70 backs up to the woods. Otherwise kind of out in the open. Site 71 also out in the open, backing up to the woods. Site 72 also backs up to the woods. This picnic table up out into the woods there. Coming up on 73, well spaced as well here on the outside. Backing up to the woods. Facing into the woods as well. And site 74, plenty of grass around it. Not much of a picnic area. It is out in the woods. And site 75, one of the camp host sites here. Nice rack full of kayaks. Facing into the woods. And we'll make our way back to the last stretch of sites that are actually along the crossroads, so it crosses across the loop. And it starts with 76 here on the inside. And followed by 77 here, well spaced, lots of grassy area, out in the open, not much shade here on the outside. 78, a wide open spaces site here on the inside of this loop. And 79 also on the inside, well spaced, right across from the bathhouse. As we roll past site number 79. And we come to site 80, also another camp host site here. On the inside, a few shade trees around. Out in the sun this afternoon. And site 81 here on the outside of this little road. Lots of grassy area, lots of space, and a few swings there and a basketball hoop for the kiddos in the background. 82, the next to last site here, numerically, out in the open. And 83, the last of the numbered sites, also out in the open. Picnic table there, and lots of great views out across the lake. It's looking like pizza night here on Lake Arcabetla. Hernando Point Campground. Got the pizza oven and all the ingredients ready to go. And there's the pizza peel. Well, after some really fun times here at Hernando Point and the little town of Hernando, we certainly have enjoyed our stay here. We are packed up and ready to move on to our next destination. So hope you all enjoyed this walkthrough, drive-through, as well as a little bit of sharing in the fun we've had. If you're in this area, looking for a place to stay around Memphis, about 30 miles south of Memphis, over on the Mississippi side, don't forget to check out Hernando Point. Be sure to subscribe, like, give us feedback, comments. Stay tuned to keep up with all the adventures of Fred and Ethel with your RV Traveler's Voice. Happy camping!